is Kevin Fernandez, and welcome to my channel, Gamers Genie. Today, we're going to learn how to play the adventurous, cooperative game, the Princess Bride Adventure Book game. This 1 to 4 player game, designed by Ryan Miller and published by Ravensburger. This game is basically everything you need in a box. It's a great story, full of escape, giants, monsters, chases, escapes, sword fighting, true love, miracles. You get to go through the story of the Princess Bride from the film, while you and other players get to manipulate the characters in the story, getting through from chapter to chapter until you get to your happily ever after. Will you be able to get there? Or will Humperdinck and his men have their way? Find out as we go to the table and learn how to play the Princess Bride Adventure Book game. Place the book in the center of the playing area and open it to chapter 1. Set the replay counter beside it with the grandson side face up. So we'll put that right there. Find the challenge completed markers and place them to the right of the book. That would be over here. Remove all special cards from the story deck. Special cards are indicated by the book icon down at the bottom of the card. Then you shuffle the special deck and the story deck separately. So for this one, I'll just kind of give it a little up there. I'll place it right there. And then this one, I'll activate my Genie magic now. Like so, and you place the story deck above the book. So it'll be a little bit off camera, but it'll be right here. And we just take this, special deck will go right here to the right of the book. Then we shuffle the plot deck. It's got all these numbers and everything. And I'll do that and activate my Genie magic now. And we place it to the left of the book, and I'll just place it to parallel to where the special deck is. Then give each player a reference card. There still should be 2 more since this is up to 4 players, and any that you don't need you can place back in the box. Leave all the other materials in the box for now. You'll use different components for each chapter. For the first chapter, place Wesley at the barn and Buttercup at the farmhouse. Place a chore counter on wood, well, and horse. Then you place the remaining 3 chore counters right here on the list of chores. There we go. Then place the miracle on the star space. Read through the rules and challenges for this chapter. So these are the rules right here, and here are the challenges. So for this one, you choose during the storytelling phase, the active player may discard a card to move a chore counter in Wesley's space to the list of chores. The chapter is interrupted if there is more chore counters remaining in the list of chores when you would need to place a chore on the map. And for the plot, if we draw a 1 through 15, we place a chore counter from the list of chores space with the same number as the revealed plot card. For example, if you were to draw 14, you would place it on space 14. And then if you draw 16 to 20, you move Buttercup to Wesley's space, then draw and resolve another plot card. Each chapter does have a first player determiner. For chapter 1, the last person to do a chore is the first player. So the first one is as you wish. There must be 2 or fewer chore counters on the map. Wesley and Buttercup must be on the same space. And if you complete this, your reward will be 1 card from the special deck. And to do that, we'll talk a little bit more about how that works. You got to match the symbols as well for each challenge. So for the next challenge, True Love, Wesley and Buttercup must be in the barn. If your reward, if you have, they must be in the barn and you must play the combination that shows on the book. You get to draw a card from the special deck if you complete this. And of course, Seek Fortune is the last one. What you need to do is Buttercup must be in the barn and Wesley must be on the 2 fortune space. And you need to play the combination of cards. And then if you manage to complete that, you completed the chapter and you can move on to chapter 2. And that completes the setup. This game is a little different where you all are trying to tell the story of the Princess Bride without getting interrupted by the very impatient grandson. Each player will take a turn controlling and manipulating different characters. No one player is going to play as a specific character and trying to complete different actions to complete the chapter. As we proceed in the gameplay video, you'll see what I mean, but let's get started. On your turn, you can do the following 5 steps in this order. So first, you can move. You may move a single character 1 or 2 spaces, or you can move 2 characters 1 space each. Players may move in any direction. Usually when it's along a path, you have to stay at the path though. But you can go, to the left, forward, backward. Then you go to storytelling. In this step, you may complete any or all of the following actions in order. You can, once per turn, you can trade 1 card from your hand with another card from someone's hand. So I could trade this card with this card. You can also discard any number of cards, so we'll just discard, to move an extra space. So let's say that I moved 1, 2, and I wanted to move that 3rd one. I would discard this card right here, and then I'd move 3. You may do this more than once per turn. You can complete a challenge or challenges by meeting the requirements and discarding the cards from your hand. So we're at As You Wish. There's 2 or fewer chore counters on the map. The game's progressed. We then discard this love card. And there we go. Completed challenge token. Place it on the challenge. And any player may play a special card. So this one allows me to move 1 character up to 3 spaces. You may use a miracle to draw 3 cards from the story deck, which is this deck up at the top, or to draw 1 card from the special deck. When you're finished with everything, you draw 2 cards from the story deck, place them in your hand. If the story deck ever runs out, you just take the discard pile of the story deck and you shuffle it to make it, and then you just shuffle it in there, place it there, and you have a new deck. While you're telling the story, you'll have to deal with several interruptions from the grandson. Discard the top card of the plot deck so the back of the cards look like this. This is what they'll look like when you flip them up. And refer to your current chapter's plot table section to see what happens. So we drew a 3, which means we got to place a chore counter from the list of chores to the space indicated. So we drew number 3, so we would have to put 3 there. Depending on the number of the plot card you've drawn, something unique will happen in each chapter. So just because that happened in this chapter doesn't mean it's going to happen in the next chapter. If you have more than 6 cards in your hand, discard down to 6. So currently, I do not have 6 cards in my hand. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your turn is over, and play proceeds to the left. Okay, there are 5 types of cards represented by an icon. So the first one is Courage. It's orange, and it's got the rodents of unusually large size. Then we have Revenge. It's a black card, and it has a sword on it, and it'll have, you know, swords here. And then after that, we have Adventure, and it's got a ship on it. I believe it's got the Dread Pirate Robert's ship, along with the ship that Vicini and those guys used to get to the Cliffs of Insanity. And then we have Intrigue, which is the man in black's mask, along with some roses. And then last, we have Love, which is Wesley and Buttercup. And it's got a heart with a crown on it. To finish a chapter and move on to the next one, you must complete all of the chapter's challenges. So for the next one, Wesley and Buttercup need to be in the barn, and then you need to play 2 love cards and a courage card. You get to draw another card from the special deck. And then for the last one, Buttercup needs to be in the barn, and Wesley needs to be at to fortune, and you need to play 2 adventure cards and courage. And we get to place a complete on that one. So the current player will always discard the story and special cards needed with the icons listed in the challenge. If an effect or cost indicates any card, players may discard any card. Players may discard any card from their hand to fulfill the requirement. When completing a challenge, you place a completed challenge token onto the challenge that you have completed. When a player completes a challenge, they receive a reward listed under each challenge. So like I said, so for an example, if you complete this one, we just complete the chapter. If we get that one, you get to draw a special card. This one also gives you a special card as well. Those are a couple of examples, and they'll change as you progress through the story. Many challenge rewards instruct the player to draw cards from the special deck. These cards either have special effects or are wild cards. So for example, this is a wild card. It can count as any suit that you want. And you can use that in place of other cards to complete challenges. When a player plays a special card, they read it aloud and then place it into the story deck discard pile. So say I wanted to use this card, I would place it in this discard pile, not in a special deck discard pile. Whenever the story deck is reshuffled, the discarded special card are shuffled into it as well. Special cards may be discarded in the same way as a story card in order to move. They can also be discarded to fulfill any card requirements or special chapter requirements. As long as they say that. Miracles are marked by a star on the board. To pick up a miracle from the board, a character must move through or land on the space. So players keep miracles from chapter to chapter until they decide to use them. Miracles belong to the players as a group and can be used at any time by any player. To use a miracle, you simply just take the token and we'll discard it off to the side and either draw 3 cards from the story deck, or you can draw 1 card from the special deck. I'm going to actually pick 3 cards from the story deck, so these are the 3 cards I drew. Once you've completed the chapter's challenge, you remove all the pieces from the board. All players discard their hands. You turn to the next chapter, and then you follow the chapter setup for this one for the next chapter in your rule book. So, or you can just follow along with this one for chapter 2. So for this one, we need to place Fezzik, Indigo, and Buttercup on the start space. We need to put Genie at space 2. We need to put ship counter S on space S and ship counter M on space M. Then we'll take a new miracle token. Remember, until we use the miracle, well, we'll just take the one that we had in previous because I did use it previously. And we place it on the miracle space. And then you have to read the rules for this one as well. So for this one, if we draw 1 to 10, we get to move the thing and the other thing. We move Vicini to the space. We move Vicini to the space on the boat with the same number as the revealed plot card. We move the mystery ship 1 space along the map track. If we get an 11 through 15, we move the mystery ship 2 spaces along the map track. 16 to 18, move the mystery ship 2 spaces along the track. Move Fezzik and Indigo to the start space, and a 19 or a 20, discard 2 move plot cards and resolve their effects. At the end of a player's turn, if they can't draw a plot card because there are no more left in the deck, the chapter has been interrupted. The grandson stops the story out of exasperation, and you must try again. Each chapter also has 1 or 2 unique ways to be defeated, as explained in each chapter rules. And I'll let you discover that for yourself. The first time a chapter is interrupted, flip over the replay counter, clear off the board, and start the chapter over. The second time the chapter is interrupted, the game ends and you are defeated. The grandson stops listening and returns to his video game. To restart the chapter, remove all the pieces from the board. Each player discards their hands, follow the setup instructions for the chapter, and play it again. So we just remove them, place them all up, get a new hand of cards, and that's that. If you completed all chapters, you win the game and true love prevails. If a chapter is interrupted and you've already flipped the replay counter to the grandpa's side, you lose the game. And that's all you need to know to play the Princess Bride Adventure Book game. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to be notified for how to play videos just like this one. And if you're a big fan of the channel as a whole, consider becoming a Patreon supporter on our Patreon page. You can support us for as little as $1 a month, which gives you early access to how to play videos just like the one you just watched. And if you watched this on our Patreon page, thank you very much. And I'd also like to thank the other current Patreon supporters who watched this as well. Your donations mean a lot to this channel. I'll leave a link, if you're curious about our Patreon page, I'll leave a link to that in the description below, so please check it out. And I also want to point out, this is now officially a series. It was originally just this game, but now there's 2 more games, Wizard of Oz and Lord of the Rings. If you guys would like me to feature this on the channel, feature these other 2 games on the channel, let me know in the comments below. Those 2 will be specifically request only. And I will probably not put them on the poll. That'll just be the next game we do right away. Or whenever I have it completed the script for it. But be on the lookout for our gameplay video on the Princess Bride. But until then, thanks for the views.